Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started right here on John 3:16 and find out what in the world this is talking about. The truth. Alright, you got, first of all, let's go right here. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God so loved the world, I am a jealous God, that he sacrificed his only begotten Son. So, his only begotten Son, he had one son. One son. Typhon. His name is Typhon. That's the son's name, Typhon. Now this is how it happened. When God created the light up here in this realm, you got all these different dimensions. You got shadow right here. Shadow. Alright. So you got, when he sent this light down to the sufficient matter, and matter started burning. Matter started burning. It caught on fire. And all these elements in matter began getting hot and boiling. Out popped Saturn. Out of Saturn, out popped Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, Mars, yada yada schmata, okay? Neptune. But this Jupiter right here, he had one son named Marduk or Hephaestus. Or Typhon. It's according to what culture you looking in, whether it's Sumerian, Ethiopian, Greek, or whatever. It's according to what culture or religion you're looking into, or history, really. So Jupiter right here, which is Sabaoth in the King James Version, in James chapter 5 verse 4, in James chapter 5 verse 4, and this right here means Lord of Hosts. Lord of Hosts. That's what this means. And this is the day of the week, which is Thursday. Thursday, which is the day of Jupiter. It marks the day of the week. Alright, so you have this god, Jupiter, had a son named Marduk. Jupiter was the righteous god of the underworld, but he's still a jealous god. Now, why do I say Jupiter? Now, why do I say Jupiter? And why do I say he had a son? Because Jupiter is Jesus. How do I know? Now watch this. These people right here in the book of Acts, Acts 14, and when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, which is lichen, which is werewolf, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. And they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius. Now they called the planets gods here. They called Mercury and they called Jupiter gods. They called them gods right here. Now this is not me saying this. This is the Bible. In the likeness of man. In the likeness of man. These are gods incarnated as a man. Now, they said they were priests of Jupiter, the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts, right there. The Lord of hosts. Sabaoth. Sabaoth. Now this is not me saying this. This is the Bible. Alright, now watch this. And when they had gone through the isle unto Paphos, they found a certain sorcerer, a false prophet, a Jew, whose name was Bar-Jesus. Now this is a sorcerer, a false prophet, a Jew, whose name was Bar-Jesus, son of Jesus, son of Jesus. Bar means son of Jesus. Now God gave his only begotten son. Why? Why would he do that? Why would he send a sorcerer and a false prophet to the earth? He gave his only begotten son because he loved the world and he was jealous. Now watch this. Right here. And I said to the Savior, Lord, was it not the serpent that instructed Adam to eat? Now this is John and the Savior talking. Now this is in the secret book of John, in the Nag Hammadi, in the Nag Hammadi scriptures, the Gnostics. Check this out. But the archons, these are the principalities, prince of the air. Archons means prince, which are the planets. These are the planets, the archons, lingered in front of what they call the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is enlightened insight. Now, what is enlightened insight? I'm going to show you in just a minute. So that Adam might not behold its fullness and recognize his shameful nakedness. But I was the one who induced them to eat. Now this is the Savior talking. Because John said to the Savior, Lord, was it not the serpent that instructed Adam to eat? The Savior laughed and said the serpent instructed, but the Savior induced it. Why? Why would he cause the serpent the devil? Why did the Savior induce the devil to tempt them? Why? Because he was a jealous God. Now watch this. All right, you got Jesus or Zeus or Jupiter, and you have the devil or Bar-Jesus, the sorcerer, or you have him, or you have Typhon, or you have the serpent eating its tail. The serpent eating its tail, the wreath animal. Why? Because Jesus, the Savior, will be no good if he didn't have the devil. He would be worthless. So he is a jealous God, so he sent his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish by him, but have everlasting life through, and this is in Revelation 19, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. Let me tell you something. If you don't have the spirit of Jesus, you ain't prophesying. If you ain't prophesying, you ain't got the spirit of Jesus. And that's the Bible saying that, not Ringo.